Welcome back, guys. Alex here with another video. I hope you're well. I know it's taken me a long time to get a video out, but I've been so busy, guys. Honestly, I've had such a fantastic last few weeks though. It's been absolutely great, but I've had no time to shoot any videos at all, and that's just the way it goes in this hobby. And it is a hobby at the end of the day, and you know, family and everything take precedent over everything else. And you know, I've had a fantastic time. And I know you want to see the video, the response to all your questions that you've sent me, and I've got them all and I've got all the answers ready, but that will be in my next video, my SNES video, okay? Because I've got the ASCII arcade stick to give away. But this video is an arcade video, which I haven't done for a long time, and you know, I've been getting right back into my arcades again, and we'll be looking at a really cool arcade machine that I've picked up. Actually, it was quite a long time ago now, but I wanted to get it going before I showed you it and tell you what my plans are for this machine, because it's really, really cool. But what have I been up to? Well, guys, I've been so busy. Work especially has taken over. Very busy time of year for me in the summer, because I'm, you know, a builder, landscaper, and you know, most of the work takes place in the summer for me. So I really have to just get my head down and, you know, harvest all the money I can for the winter months when it's really crap. So I've been doing a lot of work, especially around centre of London, Wimbledon especially, with all the Wimbledon going on. It was absolute mayhem. So getting back really late, just haven't had the time, just so tired. But also, I've had a lot of family do's, get-togethers. I had my mum's 70th birthday, and we had a fantastic time down in Bridport in Devon, which is, no, not Devon, Dorset, which is a beautiful place, part of the world. It really is nice. It was great just to meet up with all my family and just chill out. Really, really cool. And then the weekend after that, I went to Poland with my partner's family, and that was another great experience. Honestly, I've never been to Poland. It was great to go to Krakow with my partner's family and just chill out, just eat loads of nice food and drink and chat all night long. We had fantastic weather and just chilled out in the town, really. Was going to go to Auschwitz, but I thought we weren't really in the right mood for that, and didn't have, we're only there for a few days, so maybe next time. I think you have to be in the right mood for that, but I do want to go and see it. But what I did see was this Krakow Pinball Museum. So if you're ever in Krakow, go and visit the Pinball Museum. It's awesome. I knew it was there. My girlfriend was telling me it was there because I've seen the pictures, but I didn't realise how big it was, and she wasn't letting on until I actually stepped foot in the place, and I was absolutely blown away. It's an amazing place. It's like an alcove underneath a railway. It's like all old arches and brickwork. It's got a great atmosphere, you know, a real kind of arcade feel about it. Loads of pinball machines, as you can imagine, from, you know, from the 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s, right up to modern day pins, you know, all the early EM pins, which, you know, they do play slow, but I do love the artwork of all the old pinball machines. But for me, it's got to be the 80s. And one pinball game in particular I did enjoy, and it is my girlfriend's favourite pinball, and that is Bride of Pinball by Williams. And it's a fantastic game, and it's got this really cool artwork, but what really sort of draws you in is the synthesized speech. I've got this thing about synthesized speech. And this is really what this video is about. The arcade game that I'm about to show you has got synthesized speech. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. It's like when I was a kid, I remember seeing, going down to Smart's Amusements in Littlehampton and seeing 4 Golfs. They must have literally just come off the factory line, straight into this arcade, Smart's Amusements. And, you know, it's the first time I ever heard synthesized speech. Or I may have heard it in Berserk. But Berserk didn't really have a big an impact on me as Golf did. It was just a fantastic game, beautiful cabinet, and that synthesized speech just draws you in. Even on your track screen, it draws you in, you know. It's just amazing. A little bit eerie as well. I remember Berserk being quite eerie, you know, a little bit scary as a kid. You know, I didn't quite know what to think of it. So for me now to have a game with synthesized speech is so cool. I've got this obsession with it now. So I'm looking for arcade games with synthesized speech, and there's some really cool ones. Obviously you've got Berserk, you've got Gorf, you've got Astro Blaster, which I'm about to show you, and you've got Wizard of War. Now Wizard of War, you know it's the game I want. I've actually got that coming over to the UK. I bought a Wizard of War from where is it, Texas, and Whitney picked it up, and now it's been delivered to here, where hopefully in the next month or so I'll be able to showcase it to you on this channel. I love Wizard of War, it's such a cool game. So I'm obsessed with it, and I'm after a Gorf now as well. So I'm all synthesized speech. But it's got to be a good game, and these are good games, right? And that's what I'm about to show you now, is a game that I picked up probably about 2 months ago. It wasn't working, the monitor was working, but the game wasn't working. And the actual cabinet that you're about to see needs a little bit of work to it. Not much, but it needs laminating, which is what I'm going to do to it. And a few other bits and pieces as well, but it's pretty much there, guys. Honestly, the game works, the monitor's crisp, and I'm really chuffed to have this in the collection. It's such a cool game. So without further ado, right, let's go and show you my latest pickup, which is Astro Blaster from Sega Gremlin. This is it, guys. This is my beautiful Astro Blaster. I'm so chuffed to have this in the collection. I really am. I love this game. It's so cool. And I only fell in love with it in the last few years. It's such a great game. And this cabinet screams early 80s. It's so cool. I'm going to show you the whole cabinet in a minute. It's got this really old wood grain effect, you know, from the 80s, which I love. And that deep bezel looking into the cabinet. We used to love doing that as a kid, looking in there and seeing how it was all put together. Loved all the artwork inside. It's so cool. And the game is brilliant, guys. It's a short, quick fix game that requires lots of skill and lots of tactics. Really, there's a lot of tactics to this game. There's a lot to this game, a lot of secrets to this game. It is a brilliant game. So yeah, I picked this game up a couple of months now. Again, as I say, it wasn't working. The old speaker grill's got a big 8x4 speaker up here in the machine. It gives that really bassy sound, which it really does add a lot of the atmosphere to the game. Gets you going, a little bit like Space Invasion, that thud, thud, thud that gets the heartbeat going. This game does exactly the same. It's all about the sound effects, and you know, when you've got a great game as well, just the two combined just make it for a great experience. It's so cool. The first thing you'll notice that it hasn't got a joystick, it's 2 buttons, which you could argue would be better with a joystick, but that's how they made it, and that's how I like to play it. Now, a lot of players I've seen playing this game are playing it in MAME, on candy cabs. Who likes candy cabs? We don't, do we? They're alright if you've just got a small setup, I guess, but you know, playing it on the original arcade machine is such a brilliant experience. Honestly, you just don't get that playing it in MAME, you know. And playing with the 2 buttons, yes, it's a little bit harder, but I don't mind that. That's how I like it. It's like Sheriff, you know, the old gas knob. You know, it's just not the same playing it any other way. You know, that's how it was meant to be played. And you'll find that most of the top scores on this game, I know Charlie File's got an amazing score, but he's playing it on a candy cab with a joystick, you know. He's bound to get a good score, isn't he? He's cheating. But yeah, it's an awesome, awesome game. Now this cabinet has only got, what, 36,000 credits played? So it didn't do very well at all in the arcades, which is a real shame. And I think a lot of these cabinets got converted to other stuff. But this is the same cabinet as Frogger. So Frogger would have been this shaped cabinet as well. And Frogger would have been white. And this is what my plans are for this machine, is to laminate it white, because they did make a white version of this exact same cabinet. And the reason why I'm doing it, I would have kept the wood grain, because I don't mind it at all. I love the wood grain. It actually screams 80s. But because the cabinet's made out of chipboard, it's swollen around the back and around the bottom. So it needs some repair, and it's going to need laminating. So I thought, why not do it white? And if you look at this picture here, it does an half pop, doesn't it? Isn't it beautiful? It just makes the whole artwork and the bezel pop being white. So that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to make like an off-white. A lot of cabs have done it off-white, believe it or not. Wizard of War actually is one of them. Frogger is another. And I don't know, they look really, really cool. So that's my plans for this. Obviously get the coin mech, I'll show you in a minute, get all that all stripped down and repainted. But yeah, I absolutely love this game. So what I'm going to do now is take hold of the camera. I'm going to show a little bit of the cabinet, and then we're going to play the game, guys. So here it is, guys. It's got the old wood grain effect, and down there on the kick plate, all I'm going to have to do there is a little bit of filler and some black paint. That will sort that out. I've actually, as you can see, I've put wheels on it because the base, the pedal stool was rotten. So I took that off, put wheels on it. It is a heavy cab to move around, and it actually gives me those extra couple of inches because I'm quite tall. It's a lot easier to play now and move about. So quite happy to have wheels on there. I know some people don't like it, but cab this size and this heavy, and you know, you don't, I know you would like with the games with a joystick, you do tend to sort of get carried away and sort of push the cab around, but because it's buttons, just 2 buttons, you don't tend to do that. So it sits quite still on those wheels. The coin door, going to take that off, strip that, respray it, put some new red slots on there. It's got a whole Atari slot on there. Look, 10p go, 10p go. God, brings back so many memories. Inside here, we've got an unusual coin mech here, which was quite new for these machines back in the day. It's got like a mechanism here that stops kids from free playing the game. So what kids will do is stick lollipop sticks down here, or anything they could get in here to try and coin up the game. And you know, a lot of machines were getting played for free. The kids were doing that. So what they developed was this little switcher here. You'd have to press it. You have to press it down really fast to coin up. If you do it slowly, like if you can imagine a kid putting a lollipop stick in there, it doesn't coin up. So you know, they'd have to learn a new trick to coin up, to push it down really quickly. So that's quite unusual. It's a bit bent, the coin door. I need to get that straightened up. And inside here you've got a volume. You can't really see, it's too dark, but you've got the counter in there, 36,000, the volume controls inside there, which is quite handy to turn it down. The control panel, look at this, 4-year-old control panel, and I've cleaned this up. It's come up really, really well. It's got patina, it's got a little bit of fag burn here, but I'll tell you what, guys, it was a lot worse than this, and I've managed to get all of that out, and I'm really chuffed with that control panel. There's no way I'm replacing that with Repro. It's just beautiful. I don't mind the odd little nick. Normally you see on a lot of these cabs where they bent the laminate round or whatever it is, vinyl, you usually get where it's bending around, you get a long crease and it cracks. It's starting to, but not enough for me to replace it. It's just, you know, it's just 40-year-old little tiny creases, but nothing to worry about. All these little bolts here, I'm going to get all polished up. The bezel, look at the bezel inside, guys. Isn't that awesome? Look at the artwork. Guy up there, aliens shaking his fist. You've got artwork all down the side here. Artwork on the left side. It's a little bit warped, the cardboard, because obviously the damp over 40 years has got to it. So I'm going to need to straighten it out. Maybe back it up with some other cardboard and iron it out. Paint the insides here black. Obviously laminate it white, as I've said, and that's it, job done really. It's there, isn't it? All working, and I've got an extra board set as well, so I'm really chuffed. If something goes wrong, I can fault find with another board set, take one board out and see which one's faulty. So, without further ado, let me just show you, look at the speaker grill. That 8x4 speaker, that's what gives it its bass. You'll hear the sound effects and the coming out of that speaker. It's intense, it's so cool. And this speaker grill here actually found inside the coin box. The one that was on there was all rusty, it was all warped, so I took that off and really chuffed to find a new speaker grill in the coin box. So I've put that up there, and that's made a big difference. So there we go, such a lovely cab, screaming 80s, love it. Astro Blaster. Right, I'm going to set the camera up now, guys, and we're going to play this awesome game. Back of the cabinet, as you can see, it's got a lot of wear. But that will all fill in, and we'll paint that black, and that will all look really lovely when I finish. You can see at the top here, Mark screwed some, countersunk some screws in along the top. That was all just stapled in, so we got rid of those. So that's nice. It's got actually 2 doors on the back of this cabinet. So let's open it up. Have a look inside. Now, here's the cage, here's the board sets. There's 5 board sets in there, guys, which is unusual. I've never had a cabinet like this. And I know Gorf's the same, Wizard of War's the same. They're actually quite a nightmare to work on. but you know, not impossible, but because they're set up that way, it just makes them that little bit harder to repair. And this, because it overheats quite a lot as well, so it's got a fan there. Mark's installed a fan. I think they did originally have a fan in the machine. They'd installed it in the machine, but I've put a new one on there, a really quiet one, so you can't hear it. So yeah, I'm just chuffed. Mark's gone over the whole of this cabinet and made it pretty much rock solid, future proof. So I'm really chuffed with that. There's a monitor up there. So yeah, it's, you know, it's 40 years old, guys. You know what I mean? It's just so cool. I love the smell in there as well. It's so cool. Now, I'm not really that technical, so I can't tell you really much more than that, but it's the game that I'm interested in. I want to play the game, and that's what I'm about to show you now, guys. So let's turn this cab around, put the game on, and let's see this beast fired up. So guys, so before I start the game, I just want to show you, just tell you basic gameplay, right? It's left-right shooter, but you've also got a warp button, which basically slows down time. But you only get 1 warp per level, or 1 warp per life. So if you die within that level, you get to use warp again. And it's really essential to the game, actually, because some of the levels, the waves of ships come across left to right so quickly. It takes quite a long time to get them, to hit them. So by slowing them down, it just makes it that much easier. Also, there are loads of secret bonuses in this game. I think there's about 25 all in all. And they can be anything from like not missing a shot, like shooting every ship on that level without missing any, or shooting them in a certain formation. So if you shoot them as they're coming on from the left side of the screen, if you shoot them as they come across from left to right, you'll get a secret bonus. Or there's a docking sequence in the game where you have to dock your ship into the mothership, and you know, if you just scrape the sides of it, you get a secret bonus. So there's loads of stuff in this game I haven't even learned about it yet, or haven't experienced yet, which is really, really cool. And now the tactical part of the game, which you'll see in a minute, is basically you've got a fuel gauge and you've got a temperature gauge. Now your temperature of your ship will go up if you're rapidly firing, so you have to be a little bit tactical with your shots. You can't just fire away rapidly. You have to place your shots strategically and on target. You know, it's not a rapid fire game like Galaga or anything like that. You have to really place your shots very carefully. And also, the longer you spend on each level, the more less time you've got, because your fuel gauge is going down. So you've got to be quick as well. So there's a lot against you. So without further ado, let's just play the game and I'll show you what I mean. You can hear the speech, it's absolutely awesome. There you can see the fuel gauge down the bottom, the temperature gauge, and the fuel gauge is at the top here. So now I'm going to start shooting them from left to right, which I think is one of the secret bonuses. And straight away you can hear the intensity builds up as you're playing the game, as you're shooting them, if I can shoot them, because they're moving about so quickly. And it's difficult because the camera's right in my way where I'm normally standing. Yeah, I got off that level. Right, listen. So I've activated the warp.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Now if I get them all in order, in that time, I got shot. Now I've missed that opportunity now. See what I mean? It's so much harder when you haven't got the warp. Now in this level, I can gain extra fuel by shooting the yellow asteroids that are coming down, or whatever they are. But I've missed, I only got one there. But I've got a secret bonus. Now, if I don't touch any buttons right now, I can dock with that spaceship and get the secret bonus just by scraping the edge. Now we're on to Sector 2.
Alert, invader in Sector 2, player 1 to battle station.
Now I believe there's about 45 levels to this game, which is huge. I've only got to Sector 3 so far, It's a really hard game, but I'm absolutely addicted to it. I'm playing this every day at the moment. But it's difficult with the camera, the tripod in the way there, because I'm slightly off centre.
Warp activated.
And the synthesised speech, listen to it.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Secret bonus, so I've got them in order.
2, 1, 0. Exercise extreme caution. Extra
I died, so I took that chance.
Extra fuel. Extra fuel.
Get in the centre for docking.
Stand by for docking maneuver.
Don't touch a button. The trick is to get in the centre as you get into the end of that level. 10,000 points, 11,000 points. Sector 3 now.
Alert, alert, invader in sector 3, player 1 to battle station.
These are buggers, they really are.
0 ships remaining, play over.
Isn't that cool? Right, we're going to do one more game, guys. You can put your name in as well, which I won't bother with.
Alert, alert, invader in sector
Let's try a bit better this
player
time.
1 to battle station.
Just absolutely love this game, honestly. I never thought I'd find this machine. You just don't come across them, they're so rare.
Warp activated. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Secret bonus.
3, 2, 1, 0. Exercise extreme caution. Extra fuel. Stand by for docking maneuver.
I've got 5 lives, which I think Between Galaxies is 3 lives, but I'm playing with 5 lives at the moment. Now, I think I should have shot these left to right, really. I would have got my secret bonus. These are buggers, these ones.
Laser temperature critical.
See, I'm heating up now. It's gone into the red.
Laser temperature critical. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Exercise extreme caution. Extra fuel. Extra fuel. Stand by for docking maneuver.
No, I'm going to have to move now. So I didn't finish dead centre, so I've got a dock list. But I think I still get a... Do I get a bonus? No, I don't get any bonus because I moved.
Alert, alert, invader in sector 3, player 1 to battle station.
Oh. Yes, got a secret bonus on that one. Never got that one before. Must have got them in order. Oh.
4 ships remaining.
intense, guys. It really is.
Laser temperature critical.
See, I'm firing too rapidly now.
Critical. Laser temperature critical.
Eventually, you won't be able to fire. You lose all firepower if it overheats.
Laser temperature critical. Fuel status marginal. Ships remaining. Warp activated.
Muck that one up as well.
9. Fuel status critical. Double points. 6, 5, 4, 3.
Running out of fuel. And I died.
Remaining. Exercise extreme caution.
Oh, I lost it at the end.
Out of fuel. Play over.
Isn't that cool? So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. That is my awesome Astro Blaster. This one will be staying in my collection forever. I love it so much. It's got so much replay value. And there's so much in this game I haven't showed you. All the secret bonuses and all the other levels. There's just so much to it. And it's just a quick fix, really intense game. And I love it. Been playing this every day since I've got it. It's brilliant. So I just want to thank Nad and Mark Whiting for helping me getting this game going, because without you guys I wouldn't be playing it right now, so I really appreciate that. As I say, this is going to be well looked after. It's going to get totally restored, and I can't wait to update you with all the pictures of me laminating it and getting it all painted, because this one hopefully is going to go in the house. I love it that much. So that's it, guys, for this week's video, and please look out for my next video, the SNES video, obviously, where I answer all your questions and give away the ASCII stick, the arcade stick. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.